Okay, but why is the Red Bull Driver Academy so successful at finding young talent and bringing them into Formula 1? An example of this could be Monaco in 2021, where 5 out of the top 6 drivers either currently drove for Red Bull or came into F1 through the Red Bull Driver Academy. Oh yeah, and they also won 5 Drivers' Championships in the past 15 years. But first, let me explain to you what an F1 Driver Academy is. Let's take Mercedes as an example. They're going to need some good drivers to future-proof their success in Formula 1. So how do they make sure they have some decent drivers for the future? Well, they keep their eyes out on the junior formulas, whether it be F2, F3, F4, or sometimes even karting. They see which drivers are doing well, and then they sign them into their academy. This means that they can now fund your journey to Formula 1, in the hopes that one day you will join their team. And by being in a driver academy, your chances of getting to F1 are much higher. Let's continue with the Mercedes example and George Russell. He was signed by the Mercedes outfit in 2017 when he was in GP3 or Formula 3 as it's now known. Now after George won the Formula 3 title, Mercedes got him a drive with ART Grand Prix in Formula 2 the following year, and again he dominated, winning the entire Formula 2 championship. In the meantime, Mercedes had been strengthening its ties with the struggling Williams team. Mercedes arranged for George to compete in some FP1 sessions for them and Force India, both Mercedes' customer team. And then, Mercedes ended up securing a deal for George to drive for Williams on a multi-year contract. This means George was in Formula 1 and only one step away from getting to that top Mercedes outfit. Now, after spending 3 years in that Williams and having one appearance in the Mercedes when Lewis Hamilton fell ill in Sakir, George is now driving full-time for the Mercedes outfit in 2022. Now, depending on what driver academy you sign with is extremely important. For example, the Renault Sport Academy, or now known as the Alpine Academy, is notorious for not getting their drivers into F1 as are the likes of Williams. Since 2011, Ferrari has only brought 4 drivers into F1 through their driver academy. Since 2016, Mercedes have only ever brought 3, and then there's McLaren with 1. Oh yeah, and then there's Alpine, Williams and Alfa Romeo who have brought no drivers into F1 through their driver academy. And then there's Haas and Aston Martin who don't even have a young driver program. But there's one outlier here, and it's Red Bull. These guys have brought through 15 drivers in their short F1 history. But why are the top teams, and specifically Red Bull, so effective at spotting young talent and getting them into F1? Well, the simple answer is money. But I guess every F1 related question could be answered with money. But let's dive a little bit deeper. Yes, the reason the top team is so good is because of another team, a team that they own. This puts them at a huge advantage compared to the other teams, as they pretty much have 4 cars on the grid instead of the usual 2. This means they are able to bring less experienced drivers into F1 and use AlphaTauri as a proving ground for the younger talent, but this comes at a cost. The Red Bull Driver Academy is known to be cutthroat. Let me give you a few examples. Pierre Gasly in 2019 being dropped by the main Red Bull team, and then Alex Albon being fast-tracked to replace him in his rookie season. And then of course he was subsequently dropped from the team and Formula 1 in general. And then there's Daniel Kvyat being dropped by the main Red Bull team, and then put in Toro Rosso, and then dropped from F1 entirely after that. But the ones who can do well, thrive. I mean, look at the reigning world champion Max Verstappen. Joined F1 at the young age of 17, and then won the first Grand Prix in his first Red Bull race. Then there's Daniel Ricardo, who recently may have not done too well, but is an 8-time race winner. Sebastian Vettel is another example of this. He won 4 world championships with Red Bull and also went on to do well at Ferrari. Kind of. Now, if you have enjoyed the video this far, please do consider subscribing. It's free, only takes a few seconds, and you can always unsubscribe later if you want. And if you want to reach out and talk to me, you can join the Discord and add me on Discord, that's all down below. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and I'm probably going to respond to every message I get, so make sure to message me. Thanks. But why does it seem like the Red Bull Driver Academy gets so much hate? Well, it seems that Red Bull could be going for quantity over quality. Let me explain myself. For example, in Formula 2 in 2022, they'll have 4 Red Bull Academy drivers racing for them. They are Liam Lawson, Jehan Daruvala, Yuri Vips and Dennis Hauger. Now let's compare them to Mercedes. In 2022 in Formula 2, they only have 1 driver, that being Frederik Vesti, and last year they didn't even have a single junior driver in F2. Now I'm not saying that these Red Bull junior drivers are bad, not at all. It just seems like Red Bull buy as many lottery tickets as they can, and if they don't win, they rip them up and throw them in the bin. Literally. For example, Red Bull currently have 11 drivers in their junior program. They have 4 in Formula 2, 3 in Formula 3, 3 in Formula 4, and 1 in karting. And then there's Mercedes, who just have 5, most of which are really young. Now, a common trend that seems to be happening is that the other top teams like Mercedes and Ferrari are copying Red Bull's AlphaTauri situation, by Mercedes using Williams as their sort of junior team and Ferrari using either Haas or Alfa Romeo, both Ferrari powered cars. We are starting to see a problem if teams don't have technically 4 seats on the grid. This is most prominent when Alpine promoted Guan Yu Zhou in 2022, but not to the Alpine team, but to Alfa Romeo. So is this more of a question that we need more F1 seats on the grid and maybe another couple teams? Maybe I should answer that in another video. Leave a comment down below. Do you think we need more seats on the F1 grid? So some could say that it's unfair that they pretty much have 4 drivers to aid one of the drivers in the championship fight, for example Max Verstappen in 2021. I mean, what's stopping Helmut Marko going to Yuki and be like, or Pierre, and be like, just nudge Lewis on the back wheel and send him spinning? Now, I'm definitely not saying that Red Bull would ever do that, but it's just food for thought. So is the Red Bull Driver Academy a good thing or a bad thing? Well, as mentioned earlier, they are a lot more ruthless compared to the likes of Mercedes, who seem to nurture their drivers a lot more. But maybe Red Bull sign more drivers as they're more likely to get them into Formula 1 due to their track record. So in my opinion, the Red Bull Driver Academy is a good thing. It can help less well-off drivers get into F1 if they have the talent. But if you don't perform well, you're gonna get the beating from Helmut Marko. So here is my definitive guide on how to get into the Red Bull Driver Academy, from an F1 YouTuber recording this in his bedroom. Number 1, don't suck. It's obvious that the Red Bull Driver Academy loves consistency, and if you are consistently fighting for wins and podiums, you are golden. But if you aren't, I think you're going to end up like Icarus as your wings now burn. Number 2, don't have an attitude. This is mostly referring to Dan Ticktum. Now, I know a lot of people don't actually like the guy, but in my opinion, he's actually quite funny. I've wanted a way to talk about him on my channel for a while now, but I guess this is the way. So Dan has been dropped by the Red Bull Driver Academy and the Williams Driver Academy, and this is because of his results, but in my opinion, I think it's because of his attitude. I mean, he did call Latifi a poo. And finally, number 3, be best friends with Helmut Marko and bring him some sponsor money. Easy. So now you're a Red Bull Academy driver, and let's hope that you perform in that Red Bull seat or AlphaTauri or whatever you go to, and maybe you'll win the championship, who knows. So anyway, what are your views on the Red Bull Driver Academy? Leave them down below and I'd love to hear them. So I'd like to thank you for watching. I've been Connor, and I'll see you later. Bye.